If you feel ashamed or if you're hiding your luxury purchases, then you know it's not right. You know that it's not normal to shop the way that you're shopping. You know that there's something wrong with it. And you effectively know that it is a toxic shopping addiction. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, let's talk about my toxic shopping addiction and how I am addicted to shopping. Let's look around this room. There's no getting away from the fact that I shop a lot. There's no getting away from the fact that I like to shop certainly designer luxury handbags. There's no getting away from the fact that I recently put out a video talking about how I hide my luxury purchases and giving reasons why I hide my luxury purchases. And in that video, I touched on some quite personal and quite deep reasoning as to why I would do that, and that ranged from a sense of shame for spending that amount of money on frivolous luxury items. It ranged from a sense of guilt for spending that sort of money, from where I come from financially as a background to accepting that I can spend that sort of money. And there were a lot of comments in the comment box on that video about how if you feel ashamed or if you're hiding your luxury purchases, then you know it's not right. You know that it's not normal to shop the way that you're shopping. You know that there's something wrong with it. And you effectively know that it is a toxic shopping addiction, that you're addicted. There were also comments along the lines of you are filling a void of something, there's something missing, and you're filling it with this repeated shopping. And you know also that that's not right. And you feel guilty about that, and that's why you're hiding your purchases, because there's an underlying problem. And that's what we're going to talk about today, this toxic shopping addiction and my shopping and how my shopping is not normal. Now, first out, let me grasp the nettle and accept fully that my level of shopping, luxury handbag shopping, for the vast majority of people isn't normal and wouldn't seem normal. And I'm not saying this from the perspective of, oh, I can buy these bags and you can't, or I deserve these bags and you can't. That's certainly not where I'm coming from. What I am admitting and accepting is that the regular nature of my shopping at this level for the vast majority of people would not seem normal and would seem like an addiction and would seem toxic because of the amount of money that's involved in this shopping. And if I looked at myself 10 years ago and looked even 5 years ago at where my luxury level shopping is now, I too would be thinking that's not normal. What is going on? There's no way you could shop like that. There's no way you can buy those amount of bags. There's something not right. I would be thinking that about myself 5 years later. So I accept that, and I accept that the amount of shopping that you see on this channel will seem to be abnormal, will seem to be an addiction. And one of the reasons I make these types of videos and I talk to you about finances and I talk to you about money management and I talked to you about my hiding things, my shopping habits, all of that, is I do think, not that I am saying I owe anyone an explanation, but when you put yourself on the internet, when I put myself on the internet to share with you my purchases, my love of luxury handbags, what I'm selling, what I'm buying, I think that comes with, for me, almost a certain responsibility to put that into a context and to address these difficult issues. Because one thing I do not want to do is put out there an impression that this is normal and that this is highly achievable for everyone at any age. And I'm going to put that into context before it looks like I'm saying, oh, I'm wonderful and I'm up here and I can do this and you can't. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is I don't want anyone to look at this channel and to feel, if she can buy one of those bags and unbox one every month or every other month, why can't I? And I should be able to do that. And the first thing I want to make very clear is I am not in debt. I do not get into any debt to buy these bags. I never want anyone to doubt that, because I would not want anyone to put themselves in debt to try and buy bags that I buy and think that maybe I do that. I don't. there was a huge period of time in my life that I couldn't have dreamt of buying these bags. I had a lot of debt. I had student debt, I had consumer debt, I had debt just to survive. And the one thing I would not want anyone to think is that I use debt to buy these bags. And I'm not saying that again to say I'm wonderful. I'm saying that because I wouldn't want you to put yourself in a position that you would take on debt to buy a handbag. That is a personal choice. Some people will take on debt to buy handbags and pay off a bag at a time, and they do it in a controlled way. They do it in a managed way. It fits with their finances, and that's entirely fine because they've worked that out and they're at no risk from that. My perspective of someone who has been in a huge amount of debt for more important things than handbags, I would not advocate or recommend getting into debt to buy handbags. That's coming from my own personal perspective though. That's coming from someone who's been in a lot of debt to survive, and the thought of getting that debt again to buy one of these, no. Debt is something that I found to be suffocating. I found it to be drowning. It dragged me down, and I would not want to put myself in that position for something like a handbag because let's be honest, they're frivolous handbags, and that's not something I would want to do. So that's the first thing I want to clear up. The second thing is that I'm in my 40s. I was never able to buy these bags in my 20s or in my early to mid 30s. And I don't say that to any judgment of anybody that can. If you're in a position that you can, I think that's fabulous. I think it's wonderful. I wish I had been. I just wasn't. So if somebody's looking at what I'm buying, I am in my 40s, and by that I mean I am very established in my career. I am very established in my business, so that I have also paid off all of that debt that I've talked about. I don't have any student loans anymore. I don't have any consumer debt. We own our home. We've already paid for our wedding. We've already paid for big things in our life. We also have investments and savings and money that goes to other places. So the time I'm at in my life makes me in a better position now to be able to buy these things. And I fully accept before I say that there's going to be a huge amount of people at the same point of their life that I am that can't do this. And that's, I completely accept that. And that comes from the fact of the business that I own. It comes a lot though from that I have multiple streams of income. So I'm not relying on that one stream of income from my business to pay everything, to pay our life, to pay our savings, our investments and the things I buy. I have multiple streams of income, and I think that makes it a lot easier for me to go and buy things that I buy because there's different streams coming into my finances that can account for so many different things. The other thing I want to say is that I have been buying handbags for a very long time. And what that means is that there is a currency sitting on these shelves. So if I go through a period like I did recently, and there's a lot of new releases, and I bought a lot of bags, and there were things I fell in love with, and I bought a very expensive bag, to counteract that, because I didn't want to put any more pound signs, so to speak, on my shelves. I didn't want to put any more money into handbag buying or shopping. I have, and I don't know which video will go live first, but there's a number of bags being sold. There's a number of things being moved on because I don't want to spend more money on the bags. So I've used the currency, so to speak, that's sitting around me in these shelves, and that's only possible because I've been buying them for years. I've used the bags that are here to sell to get the money that bought the new things. So there's no actual additional funds going on the bags that have come in because I've sold things to offset them, and I did that because it's something I felt comfortable with. I was in a position where I didn't want to spend more money on the bags. I didn't want to put more into them. So what I did was I decided, okay, if you want them, look at what can go. Look at what you can let go to spend the money for that. And that's how that became a neutral. That was cost neutral. And that's because I've been buying them for so long. There's so many that I can cycle like that, and I can use the money that's in them. And I know that not everybody is in that position. And what I wanted to share from the comments that came on those videos is that I accept that this is not what a lot of people would class as normal. And one of the risks of social media is that social media makes us believe and makes it appear that certain things are normal that are far from normal. It is not normal to be buying these bags every week. It's not normal to never wear the same clothes twice, to never outfit repeat. That blows my brain. But obviously that's because a lot of the influencers or YouTubers or Instagrammers that we watch are being gifted these clothes and are advertising these clothes, and they have to be seen in the newest thing. That's their job. So it's not normal to never wear the clothes that you buy twice. I wear the clothes I buy till they're practically falling apart. That's not normal. It's not normal to constantly be in the Maldives. And I've said this in so many videos. I would love to constantly be in the Maldives, lying with the ocean and the clear skies and the sand. Oh, it would be a dream. But I have to work. So that is not normal for me. It's not normal for the vast majority of us. And that's something that social media makes seem so attainable, to always be flying business class and first class and to be in a location like the Maldives all the time. And that's what I wanted to address when I'm talking about this not being normal, this shopping. And that brings us on to my toxic, as it's been described, shopping habit and how I'm addicted to shopping. And the first thing I'm going to own up and say to you is I love shopping. I love it. I find it a lot of fun. I find it to be the best crack. I love a day shopping. My husband and I were recently in Milan. We were there for his birthday and Father's Day. We did a lot of the things that he wanted to do on that trip. I booked it for him as a surprise. But we did do an afternoon of shopping, one afternoon out of the trip. And I had said, Anita in Dublin had said to me, do you want me to make you some appointments in Milan for Louis Vuitton? And I said, no, I don't, thank you, but this is my husband's trip. I don't want to tie us to a time. I don't want to tie us to a period of time in Louis Vuitton, and we're going to go with the flow. And it was my husband that said to me, no, we'll have an afternoon shopping. Like we're in Milan. You love to shop in other cities. You shop every city we go to. We'll go shopping. And I was like, thank you. you know me very well. Thank you. And we did it. And I had a ball. I had an absolute blast. I had a great time in the stores. I'd heard some stories that they maybe weren't the friendliest. I had a ball, and I bought one of the most beautiful bags I've ever seen in my life. And my husband encouraged that purchase, and that led to the vlog sale, and we're going full circle here. But yes, I love it. So to me, is it an addiction? Probably a bit, yeah. Because I love it. I absolutely love shopping. I love handbags. I love buying handbags. I love the buzz of a new handbag. I love being addicted to a new handbag, obsessed with a new handbag, hunting it down, bringing that handbag in. I love it. I get such a high from it. The one thing I will say that's maybe different to what other people have talked about if they've talked about an addiction, I don't bring a bag home, unbox it, put it on the shelf and move on to the next one. If you watch my unboxings, the first thing you'll see is my absolute giddiness and excitement, and I still get that. I adore these bags. I love unboxing them. But I also love coming and sitting in this room with the bags that I already have. I've talked about this before. I come and sit in here in this chair almost like in a museum, and I look at them and I play with them and I try them on, and I try them on in different ways. And sometimes I might talk to them or myself, and sometimes my dog's with me, sometimes I'm on my own, sometimes I bring a cup of tea up here, sometimes I bring a drink and I sit. And I love being in this room. So it's not that when I buy them, the rush wears off as soon as I unbox them and I'm looking for the next one. That for me stays and is repeated, and I come up and I play with them. So that's, I suppose, one thing that is in my favour of it not being a toxic addiction, because it's not open one, move on to the next one. But let's stay being honest in this video. I do enjoy researching and looking at the new collections. So there is always a looking at what's new. And it's not because I'm thinking I'm bored of the bag that I've just unboxed, let's look for the new one. It's because I just love looking at the collections and I love researching them, looking at what the designers are coming out. There will be periods of time when there's collections released and I will have no interest in them. None at all, and I'll think, yes, I've saved lots of my money. There will be other times like now, when Dior have released the Mumbai collection. I love it. Those colours were made for me. I love it, and I love the animals on it. I'm a huge animal lover. The Chanel LA collection. Wow, love it. Sequenced, bright, patterns, badges, love it. Those collections are going to cost me money. Absolutely. And I enjoy them, and I enjoy researching them and getting excited about them. So yes, that may make it an addiction because I'm always looking for the new collections and looking to see what's coming out. It's not exactly looking for the next thing as in I must buy a new bag. It's not a feeling of I must get a new bag. It is a feeling of, oh, let's see what they're doing next. And that can lead to the I want the new bag. But it's a slight nuanced difference, but would some call that an addiction? Yes, because to sit and research and be interested in something, yes, it could be an addiction, but I absolutely love it. The one thing I will say in my favour, because I feel like I have to defend myself slightly on this toxic shopping addiction chat, is that when there are periods of time like there have just been, and there are a number of, keep pointing over here because there's lots of things not opened over here, when there have been a number of things that I've been obsessed with and loved and wanted and have spent a lot of money or bought a lot of bags or things like I have done recently, I am on the other side of that very sensible with finances. I also get to the point when I've bought a few things that my inner workings, my inner keep myself on track workings becomes uncomfortable and says, too much, bought too much. It's like an inner warning bell, beacon, can't sit with it comfortably, bought too much, you need to make decisions. And like what I've done recently, what I have unboxed, I don't know what order these videos are going out in, but what I brought in, I have let go. There is a vlog sale either coming or you've seen it. There are a number of bags that have left my collection. And they left my collection because I wanted to buy the new ones that were coming in. So I wanted to add them in. But I had to be sensible about it to make myself feel okay with it and feel comfortable with it. So I sold the other bags. So is that a shopping addiction? Potentially, yes, because there's lots of them around us. Look at all the bags. But is it toxic? I don't know if it's that, because it's not costing my family money or me money. I'm certainly not in debt. There's other bags going to pay for the bags that are coming. And when I shop, I have very definitive different types of accounts and monies. So there are certain places monies will be, and I will never dream of shopping from that money. There is an account where my money stays that is for my fun stuff, my handbags, my shopping. That account is supposed to allow me to shop guilt-free. Now, as I've talked about in other videos about the one that led to this, hiding luxury purchases, there are times even though I'm shopping from that account, like what I've just done. These bags were all bought from that account. But even though that money's there and supposed to be guilt-free, there's still something inbuilt in me, probably coming from my childhood, that when I spend a certain amount of money, I feel like it's too much even though it's there. And I have to go and let some things go to fill that back up. Even though it's supposed to be that guilt-free money. It is to a certain level, but there's a certain level of spending I just can't get comfortable with. And that account, though, makes it easier. Because what the money that's in there is all accounted for to be spent on shopping or travelling or luxury, whatever. There's lots of other accounts. That's what it's for. So whenever I shop from that, it's not impacting anything else. So is that toxic? When it's that managed and forethought about, is that even a word? When it's that planned, and I might not have planned the individual purchase, I might not have researched or planned the next bag, but I have planned having the money available to do it without touching any other money. So does that make it not toxic? Because it's a very well managed addiction? Is the definition of an addiction, if we take traditional addictions, not that you have no control over it, that you're addicted to it, that you must shop and you must buy? I am not. I love it. I want to do it. But I'm not addicted to it in the sense that I can't get through a week if I don't go shopping. I can't get through a month if I don't go shopping. I don't live in very close proximity to luxury boutiques. So I don't go into them all the time because they're not next door. Online shopping, I don't love it as much. I like the in-store experience. There are things I've bought online because I haven't been going near a shop for a long time, but I don't love it as much. So it's not that I have to be sitting on the sites buying something every week. So I don't know if that classifies as what we would call a traditional addiction because I don't have to do it. But when I have the opportunity, I love to do it. I love to go shopping. I love in new cities to go shopping. I love to go to Dublin. I love to get on the train. I love it. Quasi-addiction? Addiction, you tell me. What do you think? Do you think that's an addiction? Do you think it's a toxic addiction? Do you think it's something that I manage or I don't? What is your view on it? Do you think that shopping at this level makes it an addiction, even though you can go without it you do have plans in place for how it's paid for, and you will let other things go. Does that still make it an addiction? Maybe it does. Maybe I am addicted. I certainly love them. Absolutely love these bags. Love shopping. Do get a high from it. So maybe I am addicted to that high and that's what makes me keep buying them. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not that I just love them. Maybe underneath all that, there is that addiction fueling the love for the bags. I think it's a very interesting conversation. I think that if you feel that you're at risk of being addicted to anything, then steps have to be taken to try and manage that, whether you can do that by yourself or you need help with it. I do think steps have to be taken. I have always been and grown up, and how I manage money has always been very managed. I am assuming that helps me when it comes to managing the shopping, because that's just how I do it, and that's non-negotiable. That money is all separated, sorted, where it needs to be. Maybe that helps me manage it. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me, are you addicted to shopping? Do you love the high of it? Can you say no? Can you not? Let me know your thoughts. If you have enjoyed this video in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. If you've anything to add to this conversation, please come into the comment box. And I know some of them I'm not going to like. There's going to be comments to this saying you are addicted and it's toxic, and regardless if your money is managed, it could all be going to better things. And before anybody says in the comment box, I already donate to a number of different causes, places, charities every single month. So it's not that I just selfishly keep all of my money. I've had that in the comments before as well. So I'm just going to address that before it comes in. I know there's going to be comments in there that are hard to read about, yes, you are addicted and certainly you are, look around that room. But let me know what you think. Tell me what you think in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not done with me and if you'd maybe like some lighter relief than this one, I'm going to leave another video on the screen for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.